Hi everyone, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. I am Ruth Norton with Ruth's Stamping Corner, and I have a really cute little treat box to share with you guys today. So this is what we're going to be making. Isn't that cute? Oh, I just love it. We're going to use the Snailed It Suite. We're using every single product in the suite for this, but it is so cute, and there's a special little yummy treat inside. This box will hold a full-size Kit Kat bar. This is the Kit Kat Dark because I love dark chocolate, but it'll hold any Kit Kat, any flavor. They have the new mocha flavor if you want that one, or any flavor. But isn't it so cute, and what a sweet little gift to give somebody. So we're gonna get to that in just a second. That is what we're making, but before we get to that, we have to go through all the things I need to tell you guys. So let's get to everything. So today is February 10th. Today is the very last day to subscribe to the Bouquet of Hope paper pumpkin. You must be subscribed by midnight tonight. I would suggest not waiting until the very last minute, but if you want this month's paper pumpkin, make sure you subscribe by tonight. Tomorrow, the subscription period will open up for March's paper pumpkin. And demonstrators did get a little sneak peek today on the demonstrator paper pumpkin page, and it is going to be amazing. So you might as well subscribe to February's kit, get this month's kit, and then you'll be all ready to go for March. But again, this is the Bouquet of Hope paper pumpkin kit. Make sure you subscribe by tonight. All right, don't forget you can earn a free class when you shop with me this month. When you use my host code, you're going to get a free class if your order's over $50 more, plus you're also going to get a celebration item, and you'll get a free class shipped to you in March. Now this class is going to be featuring all the celebration products that you've earned, and there's also going to be tons of prizes and gifts that I'm just mailing out as big thank yous for placing your orders with me. So make sure you shop, use the host code, and you can earn that free class. All right, guys, while you're shopping, don't forget to purchase those retiring end colors. So there's Rococo Rose, Terracotta Tile, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray, and Purple Posy. These colors will be retiring at the end of the catalog period. So if these are colors that you use a lot, that you love, make sure you stock up. Get your cardstock, re-inkers, ink pads, ribbons, papers, whatever you need with all these colors. If these are your favorites, make sure you stock up because they will be retiring. All right, just a couple other things. We have our Hey Chick and Hey Birthday Chick promotion going on right now. These are products that you definitely want if you love little chickens. So the Hey Chick was actually from 2017 from Celebration. There are now dies to coordinate with that. You can get this as a bundle, or you can just purchase those dies if you want those dies. The Hey Birthday Chick is in the mini catalog, but there are also dies. The dies are not in the mini catalog, so you need to shop that promotion if you want that Hey Birthday Chick. All right, now for demonstrators, this is a promotion that's coming next month, but as demonstrators, we can pre-order it now. This is the Butterfly Bouquet. It is gorgeous. I actually have a few of the products, so I will show those to you. So this is the stamp set. Gorgeous, right? And it is one giant stamp set, and then the dies are amazing too. So I'll just show these to you real quick. So this is one giant die. Let me see if I can get this off. Oh, this tape is so good. Let me show you this die. You can tell I haven't had a chance to use it, but this is one giant die that will cut out that one big stamp set. And then there's tons of other dies. There's lots of detailed ones, and then lots of little elements that you can use. So fabulous bundle. You can add this to your starter kit right now. If you want this right now, you can actually add it to your starter kit. So this is a bundle that's coming in March. This will actually be in the new annual catalog that's coming out, but this will be available starting in March. Now, there's also paper that goes with it. I only have a little bit of the paper, but there's some paper that goes with it, and this paper will not be in the new annual catalog. So if you love this paper, make sure you get it during the promotion, or again, add it to your starter kit. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful paper. And then, of course, the reverse sides are equally gorgeous. There is also some special birch paper. I think it's birch. Is that what the flyer says? Let's just double check. I don't have that paper on me. Natural Touch specialty paper. It kind of looks like birch though. It's right here. But I don't have that paper on me, but I hear it's really amazing too. So these are all things that demonstrators can pre-purchase right now. That's one of the perks of being a demonstrator. We get to see and order new products first. But if you want these products now, you can add them to your starter kit, and I'd love to have you join my team. I have a pretty amazing team, and I'm always looking for people to join. You just get a discount. You get lots of demonstrator perks. It's amazing. All right, I do have a class going on right now that you can register for. This is this month's card crate. It features the In Bloom bundle, sneak peek of the cards. They are gorgeous. Sign up ends this Sunday. It's on the 14th. So if you want to get in on this month's card crate, make sure you sign up by the 14th. Now, we only have a few weeks of celebration left. This is that amazing joint offer that I was talking about. The starter kit is $99. You get to choose 125 in product, and that can include that butterfly bouquet products that I just showed you. Plus, you get 5 stacks of designer series paper in your kit for free. So that really bumps up the value of your kit to over $180. So it's an amazing value for only $99. So make sure you take a look at the joint special, and then all of these celebration items, you guys only have a little bit longer to earn them. Celebration ends on February 28th. All right, are you guys ready? We are going to be using the Snailed It Suite, or the Snail Mail Suite. I guess that's what it's called. I call it the Snailed It Suite. But so when you guys are looking at the catalog there, and when you have a suite like this, and the suites they have all the products. They normally have the designer series paper that coordinate with it. Did you know that you can order down here? You can order the entire suite with one item number, so you don't have to plug in all the item numbers. This one item number will give you all of these products. That'll give you the bundle, the twine, the resin hearts, and the DSP. You get all of it with just one item number. Now, if you already have some of this, then you can add what you need individually. But with all the suites, you can go through, see if we can find another suite. You can go through, and if you love the Sand and Sea suite, you can get that entire suite with one item number. And it just really, it's really easier, and it's really, really fun. You still get that 10% discount on the bundle that you normally get. So it's just a really easy, fun way to shop. All right, so this is what we're making, guys. I love it. So we're using that Snailed It Suite, Snailed It bundle too. So inside, Kit Kat, so cute. So you can probably fit a bunch of other little treats in here too, but this is sized perfectly for a Kit Kat. We'll just go ahead and close that up. We're going to set this aside. This is what we're going to make. So let me get out the stamp set and show you guys what we are using. I'll show you that bundle in person. So this is the Snailed It bundle. This is the one we're using. We'll do our stamping in just a minute, but I just want to show you that entire suite. The dies are really cute. This die makes a little envelope, and there's a little letter you can put inside of it. Really cute. And this is like a giant postage stamp. So adorable. Okay, so let's start with our cardstock. To make our box, we're going to make our box first, and then we'll get to all the stamping. So let me pull out my Simply Scored. All right, now the cardstock that you're going to need to start with is 7 3/4 by 7.5. Now that makes this almost a full square. So when you are scoring, just make sure that you are very conscious. Just make sure you're noting which is the longer side and which is the shorter side, because that will mess up your box if you score it incorrectly. So we're going to start on the longer side. So the 7 3/4 inch side is the side that we are going to start on. So we are going to score at 3 5/8, 6 5/8, and 7 1/4. Now don't worry, that just jumped the truck. Don't worry about writing all of these things down. The measurements are all in the video description, and they will all be on my blog tomorrow. So on this, that was on the long side, the 7 3/4 inch side. We're going to turn it on the 7 1/2 inch side, and we're going to score it at 2 1/4, at 2 7/8, and at 6 7/8. Okay. So that is all of our scoring. And of course, we're going to use our bone folder. With boxes, you always want to use your bone folder. Get nice, crisp folds. Right. And here's the host code for February. If you need to shop using that host code, remember, orders over $50, you will earn a free celebration product, and you'll get that free class in March. So, all right. Almost done. One more score line, and then we're going to do some trimming. Okay, Now, this is the longer side, and there's a 1/2 inch tab here. Now, let me move my foam folder. The side panels here, these are, I think, what did I measure them at? I think they're 5/8 inch. And then there's 1/2 inch panel here. So this is just an 1/8 inch smaller. So on the smallest side, this is going to be our glue tab. So we are going to start by cutting out this little rectangle down here. We don't need that. And then we're going to cut out these two right here. Let's see. Try not to, with my scissors, when I have to do a long score line, I always go crooked, so I'm trying not to do that. So this is our glue tab down here. So there's a bigger panel up here, and there's a real short panel down here. This is going to be our bottom. So what we're going to do down here is, I'm going to flip it over so I can see those score lines better. We're just going to cut and notch in on these little tabs, on these square tabs. We are just going to notch in. This is going to be our bottom. The bottom is going to be glued shut, so these little tabs that we're notching in are going to go on the inside. They will never be seen. Okay, so that's the bottom. We have our 1/2 inch tab over here for our glue tab. Now this is going to glue together just like this. This is going to be the back of our box this way. So this is going to be the flap that folds over. So this is the one we want to keep. So I'm going to cut down on this score line all the way to the second score line there. And I'm going to do the same. Well, let's just, here, we're going to cut this whole thing off. So on this very first score line, I'm just going to cut that whole tab off. But don't get rid of this paper because we're actually going to do some stamping on this, okay? So put that off to the side. On these little square notches, these are going to be our little tabs that fold into the box. So I'm going to save those, but I am going to notch in on those just so they stay out of our way. I'm just going to notch in on these, this little square tab right here. And then this 5-inch tab, I'm going to fold these little tabs down, and we're going to cut this long one off. We don't need this piece. So I'm just going to try to cut as straight as I can. You can use your paper cutter or longer scissors too if you feel like you're not going to get a very straight cut. Okay, so this is how we scored it. And this is how you're going to trim it up. So I hope that makes sense. You're going to leave this panel nice and long up here. You're going to trim off this entire panel, and then you're just going to leave the tabs for the top and the bottom. You're just going to trim those tabs on the bottom. So I hope that makes sense. Hope you guys can see that bottom too. Okay, we are going to start adhering this all together now. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. It's fantastic for what am I trying to say? For 3D projects. It's nice and sticky. So I put adhesive on these little square tabs on the bottom, and then I put adhesive along that 1/2 inch tab here. So I'm going to start by adhering these together. My goodness, I am all thumbs today, guys. So I'm going to just adhere that down. Just like that. Just make sure your score lines are lining up. Like that, give it a nice press. Okay, and then on our bottom, these are going to fold in. This will be our front tab, so we're going to glue that down last. Let's fold in our back tab, and that will adhere down to those little square tabs that we put glue on. I'm just going to slide a little bit of glue on here. This is our front tab. You can use tear tape too, if you prefer tear tape, or even liquid glue. And this just goes right down just like that. And I'm just going to grab my bone folder again. Just make sure everything is nice and stuck down. Okay, so that's our box. So I have another little Kit Kat bar here, so we're just going to slide that in, just like that. There we go. There's our box. Now all we have to do is decorate it. But let's do our stamping before we decorate. So I have a scrap piece of white here, and then I have that big piece of our basic gray that we cut off. We're going to stamp on this so that there's little waste on our project. So on our basic gray piece, I'm going to use my birthmarks. We're going to heat emboss that. And I'm going to do the "You Snailed It" greeting. And I'm just going to stamp that in the middle. So that's with birthmark, and I'm going to pull out my white embossing powder. And we're just going to sprinkle that on. Just like that. Get a little flick. There we go. So we'll heat this up in just a second. I'm going to put this away. I'm going to do our snail stamping and then we'll heat that up. So let me move my embossing powder. I'm going to bring this in so we know what we're working on. Now on my white piece, I'm going to stamp that in Memento because we're going to color that with blends. So I have the little snail. This is so cute. It says, "You've got mail." The die is actually going to cut off that greeting, so we're not worrying about that greeting, but we do want that cute little snail. So while that's drying, because we're going to color it with blends in just a second, while that's drying, let's get our heat tool out and we're going to heat this up. So I'm going to turn on my heat tool. I'm going to heat it up off to the side for just a few seconds, just until it's nice and hot. The hotter your heat tool is before you bring it to your paper, the less it's going to warp, because the hotter it's going to be and the quicker it's going to melt. So you just want to heat it up until all that powder melts. You have a nice, bright, shiny greeting. Beautiful. Just like that. It's so cute. Okay, we're going to put this aside. We're going to die cut that in just a second, but let's work on our snail. So I am using Daffodil Delight, Pool Party, and then the light Bermuda Beta color my snail. So we're going to start with his shell. So I'm going to use Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to do the whole thing with light Daffodil Delight on his shell here. He is so cute. When I color with Daffodil Delight, most yellows, especially So Saffron, I like to give my Memento just a little bit longer to dry because I find that the yellows tend to make it bleed. That's my brush tip. I want my smaller tip. So I like to just give it a few extra seconds to dry. Now I'm going to go in with my dark, and I'm just going to follow the curve of his shell. And then over here on his back, it's going to be a little darker. And then under this little envelope, it's going to be a little darker right here too. So I'm just adding some darker areas. And then down here on his shell, it's going to be a little darker. Now I'm not going to blend it out too much because I want some of those harsh lines. So I'm just going to go over it just a little bit, just so that the lines aren't so stark, but I'm really not blending it out too much. I really want some of those deeper, darker lines in there. Okay, so that's it with our Daffodil Delight. I'm going to come in with my Pool Party, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my light, and I'm just going to give him a good kind of wash of color with my light Pool Party. I tend to reach for my smaller tip opposed to my brush tip. I just find that I have more control with that smaller tip. So now that we have a nice little wash of color on him, I'm going to come in with my dark Pool Party, and really the only place I'm adding color to him is down here on his right side and under him. I'm just going to add a little bit of color. Now before I start blending that out with my light Pool Party, I just want to add a little bit more depth, and this one I'm going to use my light Bermuda Bay for this. That's really just going to add a lot of depth right there. Then I'm going to come with my light, and with small circular motions, I'm just going to blend all that out. And that's just going to give it a nice, smooth little finish to our little guy. He's so cute. Now we're going to cover this little heart with a little resin, a heart resin dot. So I'm not worried about coloring that. You can color it with your red stamping blends if you want, or any color, I guess, but I'm not worried about that. He's so cute. Okay, let's do some die cutting. So for this snail, from the snail dies, we're going to cut him out with this. I'm going to use some Post-it tape to hold it down. Just line it all up. Some Post-it tape just on the side to hold him down. And then for our greeting, I'm going to use the Tasteful Label dies. We're going to use this another one in a second, but these are the Tasteful Label dies. I love these labels. They are so versatile for so many projects. So that one we're just going to cut out. I'm going to try to get this straight. You snailed it. I'm going to hold that down too. All right, let's bring in our little baby cut and emboss. Here's our baby. He's so cute. I love this cut and emboss machine. And we're going to do both of them at the same time because they will both fit on here. So let's see, scoot you up just a little bit. I'm just going to trim off this end. We don't need that. Okay. Have them both on there, and we go. So cute. If you don't have the little mini machine, add this to your wish list. It's fantastic. You definitely want it. So here's our snail. So cute. And then our greeting, and it has a nice little stitched border too, which I just love from those Tasteful Label dies. Okay, before we put our little mini machine away, we are going to do some embossing first. Let me get out my other plate. I have a 2-inch basic white circle that I have already pre-punched, and I'm going to stick it into the greenery folder here. And I just want to make sure I get some of these bigger leaves. So I'm just going to kind of position it. There we go. And this is going to go right on. It fits perfectly. And then I'm going to use the light gray plate with the greenery folders. And this just goes right through. Fantastic. Let's pull this out. That amazing texture. Love it. All with one little fantastic machine. All right, so we can fold this up and move it back off to the side. Okay, move all my plates out of the way. Okay, where's all of our pieces that we just cut? So we have our embossed circle, we have our little greeting, we have our little snail. I have another label. This is from that same Tasteful Labels dies. This is in Real Red. That will get layered onto that. And then I have some DSP from the Snail Mail DSP pack. So this is the Real Red with little petal pink hearts. There's mushrooms on the back, and then there's like this little stitched Bermuda Bay piece, which I love. Also from the DSP, we're going to just trim out this mushroom real quick. This is from that same heart pattern. There's no die for this one, so you do have to fussy cut it. Now there are some dies, some mushroom dies in the Snail Mail dies, but I wanted this kind of taller mushroom. So just kind of cut off the excess. It's not hard to cut out, and it goes pretty quick. Just down the side like this, and the bottom. So there are all of our pieces, so we are ready to start assembling them. So let's bring in our box. So here's our box. So let's stick down our DSP first. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use any kind of glue for this. You can use liquid glue or whatever glue you want. This piece is going to go onto the very front of our box. And the measurements of this piece I don't have written down, but they will be on my blog post. And then this piece is going to go right on our flap. I can measure them real quick for you guys. So I have to get out my ruler. So this piece is 2 3/4 by 2. And this one is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So there is our sweet little box. Love it. So let's work on our tag. So that embossed piece, we're going to stick down. This is just going to get stuck flat to our box right here, or our label. This is our Real Red label. And then we're going to use some dimensionals, of course, my favorite adhesive. I'm going to put a couple on the back of my snail and a couple on the back of my greeting. So let's pull off all those backings. And then these are just going to kind of go on there. I kind of want that hanging over just a little bit. This will also hang over on the bottom just a little bit, just like that. Now before we really press them down, I want to stick my mushroom on. And I'm just going to add some liquid glue. I'm just using my Tombow. And I'm only adding it to, what do you call it, like the stem of the mushroom? I don't know what you call that. And then this just goes right up here at the top. That mushroom cap is going to hang off, so that's why I didn't put any adhesive on there. Okay, he's so cute. Make sure you give all those other dimensionals a good press down. And we're going to adhere this to our box. Don't put adhesive all the way down the label, because, let me show you why. Only half of it's going to be sitting on that label. So we're just going to kind of eyeball this. Hello. There we go. So if you had put adhesive all the way on the bottom, it's all going to hang off. You're going to glue your box shut for good. So, but it does kind of flap open. So we're going to solve that. I have some little Velcro dots. These I just got from like a big box craft store. just going to cut them apart. They are adhesive on both sides, so let's just peel them off the backing. And I'm going to stick them on. So I'm going to start by sticking it on up here, on the lid up here, and then I'm just going to close it. Make sure it's all nice and squared up. Close it, give it a good press. Then we'll just carefully pull that up so we can reinforce it. Oop, that didn't come up. That's okay. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try it one more time. The hardest part of this is getting it pulled off the first time, because you don't want to rip the paper, but you want to separate them enough to. They don't want to play nicely. We're just going to do it this way and hope they line up perfect. But you want to make sure that they're pressed on really well. So, and once they're on there, guys. I haven't had trouble with my other one. So just make sure they're pressed on really well. Stick that in. And that will hold it shut. Isn't that cute? Just like that. And see, once it's on there, it's fine. This one I had no trouble with at all. Okay. It's just that initial getting it on there. All right, we're almost done. We are at our finishing touches. I'm going to add some baker's twine. This is the snail mail baker's twine. I'm using the Blushing Bride pattern. And I'm going to cut off quite a long piece because I want to double this over. So just going to find those two ends. I'll open this up and we are going to close back down. We're going to tie a bow over here. What did I do? I didn't double it up. Hello. Double those ends. There we go. So I love baker's twine. It is probably one of my favorites, but I love it when they're like doubled up, when the twine is doubled up. Then you get like a double bow and it's just so cute. So this is gonna go nice and flat. If you want to use a glue dot to hold it down, you can do that. I'm just gonna try to tie a bow here. Baker's twine is pretty forgiving too when you're tying bows. So if you have trouble tying bows, try baker's twine because you seem to get pretty good bows every time. Isn't that cute? And I just love that double look. So let's just trim off the excess over here. And for our finishing touch, we have the resin hearts, and I'm gonna grab my take your pick tool. We're gonna put one red one right on that envelope. So cute. And then we're gonna put some white ones scattered kind of all over. Just make sure your hearts are facing up for the most part. So one down here and a couple on the bottom, one here and one down here. So cute. Isn't that a cute little treat box? I love it. You can mass produce these. I think they're pretty easy to make, so you can definitely make a ton of them if you need to make a ton of them. And again, they open right up. You can hold a full-size Kit Kat, any flavor you want, of course. And so cute. I think this would be really cute if somebody, especially for kids, if if they're struggling with school or something, they nailed a big test. This would be a great thing. You snailed it. Great job. Okay, guys, that is it for me. I really thank you guys for sticking around with me. If you need to shop, please use my host code. You're going to earn celebration products with every $50 you spend. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I will be in my VIP group live on Saturday, and I have another Celebration Saturday project to share with you. I will be live at 1 o'clock. I have a my BOGO sale that morning, so it will be at 1 o'clock that I am live. But catch me in my VIP group on Saturday. Otherwise, I will see you right back here next Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.